they enter this cycle. Without the entertainer, we can see that the happiness goes down and back up a little bit regularly. Guests do get happiness from buying stuff, but this happens way more frequently than they buy something, so it must be something else. I've looked through the
I've also looked through the code, and I found when a peep is inserting a new thought, the happiness target level actually increases by a pretty decent amount. Now, when you're actually looking at it, they'll only increase slowly to that, and there's a bunch of other things that can negatize that, so this is just, they'll tend towards that. But in any case, the peep assess surroundings assesses a bunch of things, and if any of these returns a thought, then it'll go ahead and assess to be something true, so such as nearby music, such as fountain, scenery, music, or this case very clean. So no matter what you're doing, if you have less than 2 rubbish, and if you have a handyman on the path, you will have less than 2 rubbish, you'll go ahead and have the clean and tidy park thought, unless the disable littering cheat is enabled. Anytime you have that thought, of course that's going to go back over here and say increase that happiness target. The only note with that is this is happening on the Tick 128 update guest, so every 128 in-game ticks, this will happen. I also will note that this is where the overcrowdedness does get checked. However, it is not where the overcrowdedness gets set. That's set during the peep's movement by all indications I've seen. Lastly, I just wanted to prove it. If you turn off the music for the merry-go-round, you remove your entertainer, and then you go ahead and watch the happiness levels of your guest. Anytime they eat or drink, they'll become very happy. The stall is free, so they always think that's a really good value. But also they just get the happiness and from the drinking, and this creates a perpetual cycle in of itself. Doesn't really have to have the tidy parks thought. It just really does help it. The other note I will make is even if there is some minor things that they're not liking, they'll tend to hover around the 128 mark unless they have something to be truly unhappy about. So even if they're getting pretty low, they'll typically fall in, sit around the 128, and then they'll become very happy once they eat or drink. For example, this John D. He's right here about 128 in happiness, going up and down a little, and then he'll here in a second eat something. And he just brought something, a beef noodles, he eats it, and then thirst goes up, and then once he drinks something, he'll say that the happiness gets all the way back to the maximum. He just drank something, and then it just goes on down. I will say that sometimes you will have people that fall out of the cycle, such as KTL. So while this isn't a truly perpetual one, it's still pretty close, and then all you really have to do is disable littering, cheat, or play some music, and the thoughts will increase. But if they've already thought about leaving the park, then obviously they're going to leave the park. That's all.